What's going on, guys? Natty here, Natty and Nolan Yu-Gi-Oh! Today I came in second place playing Runick Plunder. This is my second top in a row at our locals for the past 2 weeks here, and I made a couple changes just from last week, so we'll just dive right into it. Starting off, just very normal. So we're gonna do 3 Whitebeard, 3 Golden Hair, and I do 3 of the Crows. They're all my 3 ofs. And then for the rest of the engine, I go 2 Bluebeard and 1 red. Ratios seem perfectly fine. For the Runick variant, I find that the discard 1, draw 1 comes up a lot. Just be able to pitch a Runick spell even half the time, get more Runick. You never have enough Runick spells, to be honest with you. You just want more.
Yeah, I've watched a lot of like.
And then next. So this is my change from last week. I finally got in the Gens and Kens, and that worked out very well. The Gen did backfire on mine today. I did it against a tier player where they discard a card, and that was really stupid of me. It discards for effect. But other than that, it was insane all day. Give your opponent an attribute and be able to like pseudo Graceful Charity, or just rip a card out of your opponent's hand, their choice. It was always a plus.
First finish Kaladesh though, because I want that done. You're just doing green multicolored artifacts.
And next into our spells, 2 Fountain, 3 Tip, 3 Freeze and Curses, 3 Destruction.
Yeah, that's it. It's just not that interesting.
Flashing Fire, 3 Slumber.
Yeah, the set
I went 2 Smiting Storm and 1 Dispelling. Ratios seem fine all day. If I could play more of them, I honestly would, but I just don't have the deck space. And I found that like Slumber is just a crazy card. Just being able to like turn 1, just target your monster, banish 3, just be able to use Fountain's effect to shuffle back, draw. This comes up a lot. So I really like this card, and I use it all day for protection. Because your plunders are kind of small. Like your list is 2,000 defense, 2,000 attack, so it's kind of small. So you want to be able to protect it if you can.
And basically what you do is...
And lastly, for non-engine, we have our 2 Droplets, which came up several times a day. Just 1, I cut this down to 1 now, and it seems fine. You're just going to be adding it off your Moric. You typically never use it, but in the grind game, if you lose your Fountain, you can just get your Plunder engine back running up again. The 1 Called By, 1 Triple Attack, which came up like 3 times today. Crazy card, just be able to steal, draw 2, whatever else. And then lastly, I put in the 1 Booties my first time for playing this card, and it was actually won my last match, which got me 2nd place. I was able just to special summon a Blackbeard from Graveyard and just go right into another list. And it also like recycles cards back in your graveyard, so it just makes the grind game a lot better. Get into our extra. So our synchros, I'm on 1 Jord, 2 Bran, and 1 Dragite. I played Branded last round, and I just made this, and you pretty much scooped it up once I did. I was just top decking, so it was just game over. And I always like 2 Jord, but the extra deck's very tight with the Runick monsters and whatnot, and so far 1's been fine. It puts itself back, so it's typically okay. And for our fusions, the 2 lists, 2 Hugin, 1 Jerry, 1 Munin. For time, I feel my back. This is really good, this deck. I actually would play more if I could. Just being a 4 for your Synchro 8s and your rank 4s. It's, like I said, it's just so tight. You almost have to play 2 in this deck. Just in case the first one gets Ash, you really need to get Field Spell in your hand. And List is just the best Plunder monster in extra deck. For XCs, we have the 2 Moric. And lastly for links, I'm just running 3 of the Blackbeards. I was on Muckraker for a while, but I just really wanted to fit in that extra Hugin for the protection effects, and just in case the first one got negated. And I honestly didn't really miss it all day. The only thing I did miss was like just having a generic Link monster to go into for like 2 non-Plunder monsters. But other than that, I'll play around with it, but I think this is the right list for right now. And to my side, 3 Nib. Did not come up at all today, but still kind of have to run it. I sided the Ashes. I just didn't want to play, like, I didn't try not to play too many hand traps, so I didn't want to play into Triple Attack, Thrust, whatever else. I prefer my opponent to think I'm not playing any at all and side all their tactics out and everything, and their thrusts. But I sided this in pretty much every match, and especially against Branded, shutting them down. It just felt good. Honestly, I never needed it, really. I mean, it'd been helpful to have for going for the first game, but it felt fine siding it in. And then 2 Droll. which does kill Plunder, so you gotta make sure it's your opponent's first turn, not yours, to use this, because it can really damper your Plunder playability. And some 2 Kaijus. I was playing a light for a while, which is really big and hard to get out, so at least the attack is manageable. And it's just good attributes for the deck. And then removal, 2 Lightning Storm. This also never really came up. And our 3 evenly matched. So that's the side. Deck felt great all day. If you guys can have the ability to go out and like pick up the cards, particularly Runick cards, even just work on Plunder cards, it's a lot of fun, and it's a really good deck. It just does a lot. It plays through a lot.
How do you feel about it in the current meta?
The current meta, honestly, it killed a lot of decks in the current meta at the moment. Just being able to have a quick effect. It deals with back row decks like so well. Like when I go against like a Skystriker deck or like Eldritch or whatever else, I just feel good about myself.
That was very targeted of you.
It was, but it's just even just Labyrinth. It just has so much removal for back row. Just having the Bran and your Runick cards and just even the Slumber, just being able to stop stuff from being destroyed. The deck puts a lot of work in. Like I said, it would be nice sometimes to have more Runick cards. You just already have like 20 something in there, but you just always want to see at least 3 in your hand at all times. But other than that, the deck performs well, and you try it out.
What do you think's your hardest matchup?
My hardest matchup today? Honestly, Tier was kind of rough. Like on paper, I think my deck should do better. Just having the Mork Banish and everything that the deck can do, especially having Runick cards. But the destruction effects are kind of rough to try and work around and everything. That was my roughest matchup. That was like my worst hands today. Other than that, like Vanquish Soul was kind of scary, to be honest with you. Luckily, I just kind of came out on top. I had a little bit more grindiness in me. I was able to grind him out. Other than that, honestly, Tier's scary as hell right now. Especially your opponent's just really good at RNG.
Yeah.
But signing out, Nolan behind the camera, thank you. Turning me onto this deck, he's one that badgered me a lot to try Runick Plunder out.
For months.
And I finally did, and it's going well. So,
all right.